So hopefully I will be live. Just going to see if that's the case. And I am. All good. Hello, Manny. Nice to see you in. Arwin, hey. Hey, listen, mate, I messaged you before and asked you, did you actually want to jump on this? But you obviously didn't get back to me in time. But yeah. Hello, Shane. Nice to see you in. Good evening, Julie. Because hi, Ute. I've had this all day. It's been going around my head. It really has. And I can't not believe that this has to have been done on purpose. Hello, C Oddity and AJ&M. Nice to see you guys in. And yeah, it's to do with this. It's to do with this this paragraph and the way that it's worded, and the things that they've actually contained in the words. Basically, they're going to stop They're going to start reducing the recommendations of borderline content and content that could misinform users in harmful ways, such as, okay, so we've got the phony miracle cures, right, for serious illnesses. Now, I'm assuming that could be something to do with like CBD oil or something like that, perhaps. I'm not going to go into that because essentially I don't, I haven't really looked into it too much myself, although I do feel that it is something that should be looked into. But this here, 9/11, and the only other thing that they actually bring in is the Earth flat. So they have three things there. They have this cure for illnesses, which could be this CBD oil thing that they're talking about, the flat Earth, obviously, and 9/11. Now, what has been bugging me all week, and especially today, is that pretty much everybody knows that 9/11 was an inside job. Everybody knows that 9/11 didn't happen the way they told us it did. Like, everybody knows this. It's not known. Everybody knows that they're actually trying to change history right in front of our eyes. What we saw, what we evidenced, the architects and engineers that have actually done incredible work on the research of 9/11. And actually, this is the architects for 9/11 truth. And basically, they are going to be presenting in front of a federal grand jury about the WTC demolitions, essentially, because that's what it was. It was a demolition. And they have all the information that you would expect them to have, seeing as that they've got like 3,000 members that are all architects and engineers that all agree that the trade centers didn't fall the way they were told. And yet, on the official blog, even though this is going to be heard by a grand jury, they've incorporated blatantly false claims about historic events like 9/11. Well, considering that this is still to be heard, this case is still going to be heard and being brought up. And when we looked at this poll, we've got a poll up here. I mean, this is in 2013, bearing in mind. I mean, this is a long time ago. This is from 5 years ago. But even from 5 years ago, it was like 46% suspected that it was caused by a controlled demolition. Now, like I say, this was 5 years ago. That's got to be nudging 70% now. 70% of people know that 9/11 didn't happen the way they told us it did. And yet, in this one paragraph, we've got contained flat Earth and 9/11. Now, are they tipping the hat to flat Earth? Are they basically saying, look, we're going to put this out there, and anybody that knows 9/11 didn't go down the way it went, but yet we've got flat Earth in here as well, and serious illness with this miracle cures, obviously CBD oil, but they don't actually specifically say that. But basically, the two things they have specified is the Earth is flat, or historic events like 9/11. So come on, guys, are they not are they not trolling us here? Are they not actually sort of like tipping the hat and saying, "Hey, we know the Earth is flat, guys," and if anybody reads this and they know 9/11 didn't go down the way it did, and then they see flat Earthers in there, is it like a slow rollout? Are they trying to push people to look into flat Earth? You know, because we all know that 9/11 didn't go down that way, and yeah, we've got, here we go, Earth is flat as well. I mean, come on. I honestly can't see that this isn't some kind of, you know, pushing the flat Earth without pushing the flat Earth, making it look like they're trying to censor flat Earth when in actual fact they've incorporated it with 9/11, which everybody bloody well knows didn't go down the way it did. You know. Right, okay, so let's see. We got Arwin that says no, they are not ranty. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Multi-Tom Tom, nice to see you in, yep. Architects for 9/11 are all phonies. Why would you say that? Right, guys. I feel like that you guys don't actually are on the same page with me. We've got AJ&M that says that they're all phonies, and Arwin that's basically saying that it's some kind of mind control. So you see, I watch these architects and engineers pull apart the official narrative, even going to when they got the military grade, what was it called now? Whatever it was, the military grade stuff that they used to actually burn through the metals. And yeah, I mean, it was all over the whole town. It was over the whole town, and these guys, you know, they how can you say that these guys are not, you know, that these guys are phony? I don't understand why you would say that. I really don't. 9/11 did happen, just not the way you lot are told. Yes, of course. Well, yeah, obviously, AJM. Yeah, I mean, 9/11 did happen. The buildings did fall, and no matter what people say, I do actually believe that people probably died. You know, I mean, we saw people falling out of the buildings, for crying out loud. And it seems impossible that those buildings could come down and nobody would not get killed. I mean, people had to have died. But yeah, thermite. Yeah, exactly. It was military grade thermite that they found. It wasn't just normal thermite, which is hard to make or get hold of anyway. But this was military grade stuff. But yeah, I mean, come on. Look at how they've sentenced this. Look at how they've put it all in the same paragraph. They've put 9/11 and the flat Earth in the same paragraph. Now everybody knows that it's not making blatantly false claims about 9/11 because it's the truth. We know the buildings didn't fall the way that the government's told us, and the way the newspapers still continued to say actually happened. People know this. You know, even like I say, even in 2013, 46% thought the buildings were brought down by a demolition. It's got to be a hell of a lot more now. A hell of a lot more. So if people know that 9/11 was bogus, the way they told us it was bogus, and yet they're incorporating flat Earth in the same as that, I mean, come on. It's like they couldn't have. Nothing happens spontaneously or randomly in this world. Nothing happens. Whoever wrote this paragraph didn't write it just off the top of his head. He was working, or she was working, to some kind of policy, and had to include these things in the same paragraph. Essentially, this is how they do it, and I can't see that. I do see the two are definitely connected. You know, we know, conspiracy analysts know that 9/11 happened differently to the official narrative, and then they stick flat Earth in there as well. And they might want to start censoring it. Fair enough. They are going to start censoring it. If they are, that's, you know, we'll have to find some kind of workaround for that. But to actually include the two together in the same paragraph, nothing happens randomly. You know, just doesn't happen randomly. Jew weapons, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, multi-tom Tom, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, the majority of Americans now believe, yeah, 9/11 was an inside job. That's true. But why would YouTube now be saying that it's going to censor people that say that, even when they're still waiting for it to be heard in front of a grand jury, a special grand jury? You know, I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, there must be enough information. I mean, there is enough information. Let's be honest. There is enough evidence to prove without a shadow of a doubt that 9/11 didn't happen the way the official narrative that planes smashed into them and they brought the buildings down. That just didn't happen that way, you know. And you know, these guys have been on it. I mean, these guys woke me up to 9/11. I watched their first documentary, and like I say, they've now got this breakthrough. It's going to be heard in front of the grand jury, and yet YouTube are trying to censor it. You know, blatantly false claims. Well, what's blatantly false claims? I mean, there's only one narrative that the conspiracy analysts are actually putting out, and that is that the buildings basically are brought down using thermite. And you know, okay, there's some discrepancy whether some people believe the planes actually used or not, but essentially they're all saying the same thing: is that it was a conspiracy, it was an inside job. That's basically what they're saying. And the grand jury is waiting to hear this evidence, and yet YouTube are already starting to censor it. It just, you know, and then they stick in the flat earth in as well in the same paragraph. Come on. There's nothing happens randomly. Right. That stuff is flat. Yeah. I'm hoping actually to get Red Pill Philosophy on the channel. He did say he wanted to come on and talk about his the other stuff that he does as well. Obviously not just the flat earth stuff. Thanks very much, Colin. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get Red Pill on. Oh, and I am getting a guest on Saturday as well. You might have seen a couple of videos that I uploaded of his recently about optics. I think you'll really enjoy what he's got to say in the presentation that he's going to put together, because essentially that's what I've been working on this entire year. But it took somebody to, I don't know, kind of take the best out of not just my stuff, but everybody else's, put it into a collage of information, spend an awful lot of time, obviously, putting the thing together. And then, obviously, he must have some kind of, we'll find out, I hope, some kind of degree or something in that particular subject, because when he's talking about his optics and stuff, he certainly knows what he's talking about. I mean, this Nathan with his angle of attack thing, you know, and the narrow viewing angle, which I was calling it, limited angle, whichever, you know, it all seems like, yeah, we have actually nailed it down now. You know, optics can be essentially written off for the globe. I mean, it's just that good. 9/11 seems a long time ago. Yeah, it does. I remember actually watching that. I'd skived the day off work, and I was on the PC and you know, the news came on, and no, hang on, what was it now? It was maybe an hour afterwards. Somebody messaged me or phoned me up or something and said, "Have you seen the news?" And switched the telly on, and I'd look. I mean, mouth wide open, you know, obviously, because you're looking at these planes hitting the building. You know, that's what you saw. You know, I mean, that's the way they wanted you to see it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, when that second building went down, wow. I mean, I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen the entire time. I was glued to it for like 5 hours. I thought it was like the start of World War III or something. I mean, this was before I was even into conspiracies. You know, I was well asleep back then. The red pill had never come near me. I was munching on the blue pill back then. I mean, I still believed that you know, that maybe my grandchildren would be flying off into space and colonizing Mars or something. I mean, there's no way you can believe that now. I mean, they can't even send the man to the moon anymore. It's ridiculous. And the more we look back at some of the stuff that they've put out for the ISS, I mean, that door that's like floppy. I mean, come on, the floppy door. I mean, and that's supposed to be a hatch on the ISS. Are you kidding me? Airline pilot research global airlines. Hello. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at if you've got any content on your channel. I kind of like that name. So let's have a look at this. Let's see. Okay, videos. Flat earthers in the flight deck prove the Earth is a globe. Okay. How to see Earth's curvature from an airline window. Interesting. You do realize that you have a circular field of view, that your eyeball is basically a lens, and the camera is also a lens, and it has something called barrel distortion. It's going to film everything slightly circular due to your field of view. You do realize this. I mean, I hope you're just not trolling there, because I wouldn't like to think that you were, but you never know. Yeah, I do. What's this? What's this? Oh no, it's the pilot. Right. So I'm guessing that Mr. Pilot here is a globe earther. Okay. Nice to see you in. But if you actually think that you can prove any kind of curvature from 32,000 feet, 36,000 feet, then essentially you're off your rocker. Literally off your rocker. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was in the air training corps when I was younger, and I used to fly different types of aircraft. I flew a bulldog, I flew a chipmunk, I've flown a glider, and you see in a circle. You know, obviously, I've been in a commercial airplane, you know, as a passenger, and you see in a circle, you have a field of view. Right. Okay. AJ&M, where's my spanner, mate? Right, there you go. And there's your spanner. Yeah, the floppy doors, floor floppy heads. Yeah, I've seen all that. This fake pilot is Wolfish Stooge. Okay, fair enough. Well, none of these pilots that can say that they've gone in a plane and seen curvature from the plane. I mean, come on, we had Red's Rhetoric, who said that from from his drone footage of about 1,400 feet, from his drone, he was able to capture curvature. I mean, it was Sean Hufford that took a still shot of and like squished it. They said they squished it. They actually compressed it, and oh, it was so cringy. It was embarrassing. I mean, Jaren was all over that. I mean, come on, who wouldn't? I mean, these guys are actually struggling so hard to try and find proof right now that they'll make it up, they'll lie about it, and it was just so embarrassing. I was glad that I actually managed to capture that, because I have a feeling that he'll probably never re-upload that video in his lifetime, because it is so embarrassing. Right. Okay. Well, guys, obviously you know this airline pilot guy. If you think that, well, you know this channel's, you know, reputation as such. You know what you do. If you're a moderator and you think there's a troll in the chat, you know what to do with them. Peanuts Clark, hello. Nice to see you in. So what do you think, guys? Do you think this this YouTube announcement was done to basically link the two conspiracies in some respect, 9/11 and the flat Earth, because I think by putting them in the same paragraph, they're kind of basically saying, well, most people know that 9/11 didn't go down that way, and yet we'll also throw the flat Earth in as well. It does seem more than a conspiracy. It's not random. They've done this on purpose. I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're trying to lead people to people that know that 9/11 was a conspiracy would now be looking towards the flat Earth because YouTube have put it in the same paragraph. You know, it's the way I feel. It's the way I think of it anyway. It's what I think. Right, okay. Ask airline pilot why he thinks they are censoring flat Earth. Yeah, okay. Airline pilot. That seems like a pretty fair question. Why do you think they're actually censoring flat Earth then? Or putting it out that they're trying to censor flat Earth, when at the same time they're including 9/11 in the same paragraph? Because let's face it, right? Let's face it, right? 9/11, the cat's already out of the bag, right? The cat is already out of the bag for 9/11, right? So to actually say that right now seems very pointless. It seems like a very useless thing to have put out, because there's been so much talk about 9/11, and it's been what, 17 years since 9/11. So everything that happened with 9/11 has been thrown on the internet, on documentaries, on all kinds of different channels as well. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been talked about. It's been talked about to death, and people have made their own mind up already about it. They've already come to the conclusion that 9/11 didn't happen the way that they were told it happened, right? So there's that much information out there already about 9/11. It seems like a very pointless thing for YouTube to have actually put out this sentence. It seems incredibly pointless, unless they were trying to tip the hat to flat Earth, because by putting the two together, I mean, not many people have probably looked into flat Earth in any kind of seriousness. I mean, I was looking at conspiracies for the longest of times, and every time a flat Earth video came up, I refused to look at it. Didn't want to entertain it. I thought it was retarded and ridiculous. And of course, once you start looking into it, then you sort of, you see some errors, and then the more you go to look into it, you obviously realize that, yeah, okay, it is flat. It's not a globe. But how many people have actually looked at the Earth being flat? I would, if I was hazarding a guess, and it really is a random guess, I would say less than 5% of people have looked into, is the Earth flat, and not just looked at like a debunking video, but looked into somebody like Mark Sargent or anybody really that's putting content out that can draw you into to this debate. So maybe less than 5% of people have already looked at flat Earth, but I would imagine that probably 95% of people have already looked into 9/11. And of those 95% of people, I would probably guess 70% of them believe now that 9/11 didn't happen the way it did. So it seems pointless for them to have put that out. Makes me question why they've decided to put this in and link it with 9/11. Are they trying to send people now to look at the flat Earth? The way it looks to me, it definitely is the way it looks to me. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you disagree. I just think that it's nothing's coincidental anymore. Hello, Jason of the Didsbury family. Nice to see you in. Stick you as a moderator. There you go. Mark came up with all those videos in the week and hasn't had a video since. That is true. Yeah, that is true. But does that mean that he's some kind of agent? I don't know. The only thing that I have against Mark is the boat. You know, that he's one of his proofs is that you can just zoom in and always bring back a boat with a bigger camera. So I don't believe that's true. I believe that it will always at some point encounter the false fake horizon line, which is essentially the inferior mirage, and it's the inferior mirage repeating the sky down that covers up the ocean underneath. And also in that limited viewing angle, you can hide anything from not just a small boat, but you could essentially hide mountain ranges and all kinds of stuff, providing they're far enough away. So once you go to like 200 miles away, that very small degree of angle will be enough to hide an entire mountain range. It's just the way it is. It's just how optics work. So simply saying that you can just always bring a boat back with a camera, I've never been able to do that. You know, I've been able to see boats at 29 miles away. Seriously, 29 miles away. And I was at about 20 foot above sea level. I was actually with Anthony Riley at the time over at St. Bees. I've got the video on my channel, and we saw this boat. It was 29 miles away. I triangulated it by using the ship AIS. I found the boat, found its GPS at the exact time that I was filming it, so it was 29 miles away. And I think there should have been like 400 feet of curve. 400 feet of curve between me and the boat, and obviously there wasn't because we were seeing it. Just another example that yes, but at some point it did disappear. I mean, there was a point that that boat was no longer able to be brought back, and it was just one of those days that it was just a very good day for seeing that far. In general, most boats start to disappear out from bottom first due to the inferior mirage. It's what happens. What can you say? It's not curvature, but that boat will always get hidden away. So diffraction, yeah, exactly, diffraction, and we'll be talking about that on Saturday. Have that guest coming in, so that shall be good. Have I missed anybody? Ryan, nice to see you in. Right, here we've got what? C Clue 13 for one to nail. Mark Sargent did promote FE tirelessly. Yes, I absolutely agree. I mean, he still is promoting it. He's going to all the events. He's with back with Patricia now. He's doing the secret show, so it's all good. You know, I've got like I say, I've got nothing against Mark Sargent, apart from, you know, his assertion that you can always bring a boat back with a camera. That's the only thing that I'd disagree with him on. As for his actual activism, I can't fault it. Good day to you, FED. Nice to see you in. Flat Earth Head, how come you are not? You are now. You are a moderator now. Trying to see. Jason, yeah, I've moderated you as well. Yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, did you see it right? Walt, you've just come in, yeah. So I want your opinion on this, mate. And it's going back to this section here that YouTube came out with this week. And like I said, it's to do with including three things that they've put in. They've put in miracle cures for a serious illness, claiming the Earth is flat, or making blatantly false claims about historic events like 9/11. Now, The problem I have with this is that probably 70% of people know that 9/11 didn't happen the way it did. Secondly, 9/11's been done to death, and probably 95, if not more, percent of people have already seen all the information that they can ever see about 9/11. They've looked into, you know, once you watch one video, you watch another. It's just the way things go. You know, you start watching, you binge watch them. So I would imagine that probably 95% of people have already seen all the information about 9/11. But why would they throw flat Earth in the same breath as 9/11 when they're saying that it's a false claim about historic events about 9/11, when 70% at least of people already know 9/11 didn't go down the way it did? Why are they throwing flat Earth in with it? Why are they lumping it in at the same? Is it like they're trying to say, look, here's flat Earth, go and have a look? That's the way I read it. You know, that's how I'm reading it right now, because nothing happens randomly. You know, I mean, whoever wrote this here, whoever wrote this, doesn't have a name on, just has from YouTube, Friday, January the 25th, 2019. Whoever wrote that is obviously the YouTube team. They would have had to have had it approved, basically. It would have been proofread. They'd have talked about it. They'd have been very careful about how they worded everything. And I just see that when they're putting these together, they're kind of like linking them in some way, subconsciously even. You know, the subconsciously, people that read this and they think, what are they talking about? Blatantly false claims about 9/11. What, you know, what's YouTube talking about? Why would they be censoring that when we all know 9/11 didn't happen the way it did? Yeah, because that's how most rational people would be thinking when they read that. And then they'd want to go back and read it again and say, hang on, I need to read that again. And they read it again. And then they go, blah, 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 claiming the earth is flat or making blatantly false claims about 9/11. Well, yeah, 9/11, what's this about flat earth? Yeah. You know, and it's like a subconscious kind of, go and have a look at flat earth. Do you agree? What do you think, Walt? Hey, Zach, nice to see you in. Arwin, are you still in? Do you want a link? Do you actually want a link? If you're still in, you're more than welcome. Nice to see you in, Sparky. Chucky, hello. Constance Bruins, nice to see you in. A few more shout outs. Oh, Zach's in, Good Tims for All. Everyone should head over there and actually subscribe to Good Tims for All. Arwin, right, you want a link. Right, okie dokie, right, I'm going to send you over the link. Just bear with me. Right, copy that. And you should have the link. Right now. So there you go. They're trying to get all the conspiracies under one umbrella, throw in the racists and the religious extremists, then ban PEPs for any of the above. Possibly. But it's simply because they've incorporated them both together. It's like, hello, Owen, nice to see you in, mate. Hey. How's it going?
Yes, as it goes.
I've missed your show today. I didn't actually catch it. So I heard a bit about yesterday's though, but I haven't watched that either. I mean, we talked about it very briefly actually yesterday, didn't we, after the show? But I don't know. I see Tim Osmond's already jumped on it, so I assume it was probably, you know.
Yeah, I went completely berserk. So
fair enough. It's your own show. You can do what you want, mate.
I didn't really want to do it. I just couldn't stop it anymore. And I was doing like this, or still am, like an inner journey, basically trying to do the path thing openly and be honest about everything. And this was one of them, one of those really hard ones.
What was it? Was it the Alex Jones show that ticked you off or something, or some kind of article with that?
Everything, everything from every direction, everyone, people I didn't even know that out of nowhere make remarks and everything. Everything just pushed me until I snapped. But yeah, Alex Jones show too. They, man, they talk about disgusting pedophile stuff like nothing out there. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk about all that stuff on here because I mean, I know Nathan likes to keep it flat earthy,
mhm.
which is okay. But I do believe there's a whole web of conspiracies that are somewhat linked, and it does seem that they follow the. I mean, who was it? Alex Jones was supposed to have sneaked into this.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so many people say you just can't do that. You just can't sneak
Yeah, he
in,
can, and he did.
and yeah, and well, obviously, people that believe that he's telling the truth on everything are going to believe that. Um, and I do believe he puts a lot of good stuff out. I mean, I religiously watched his stuff for probably 18 months, I would say,
Yeah.
in the lead up to Trump getting elected, and before that. And obviously, I think when I started looking into flat Earth, that died off. In fact, it was Alex Jones's putting a video out about flat Earth. It was who was it now? Paul Joseph Watson well, it was on. He was in a bar and he was talking to that MMA fighter guy.
MMA fighter guy.
Yeah, what was he called?
Wait, Eddie
Not
Bravo
Joe.
or
Yeah, Eddie Bravo. Yeah,
oh,
so he was talking to Eddie Bravo. He was in there. There was a few of them in there in this bar, and they titled the video "Eddie Bravo proves the flat Earth."
yeah.
That's what it was titled on Alex Jones's channel, and I was like, "What?" Because every time flat Earth had been brought up in the past, Alex Jones was the first one to say, "Oh, it's a prank call," and hang up on them, and not,
Yeah, he still does that though, but
well,
there is some change.
but what happened? This is what made me look into it, and I'll be honest, is at the time, um, he'd been going on for about a week about how they were taking all his sponsorship money off of him, and they were demonetizing him for this. They were taking his oil sponsorship for this. He had no money coming in. Blah 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 blah. And he was going on about this for about a week, right? Because they were really hitting him hard, right? This was the narrative anyway, and then a week after him doing this and going on about it, he puts this video out saying Eddie Bravo proves the flat Earth, right? So I watched it. It was on for like 50 minutes. And then the following day, the video was removed. And funnily enough, he had all his advertising revenue back. Right? He literally had it all back. All the sponsorship had come back. He'd had his channel was be able to start making money again, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely, and the bells started going off in my head thinking, hang about, wait a minute. The only thing that he doesn't really talk about, which is flat Earth, he puts a flat Earth video out, then suddenly it's removed and he's got all his monetization back. I mean, that can't be, just random.
No, that's NASA.
Well, it made me look into flat
I
Earth.
look. I
Let's put it
believe
that
that
way.
he's in with NASA for big, big stuff. He promotes them. He's had astronauts on the show and everything, and so yeah. But he is also a truth seeker, and yeah, then there's this conflict of interest basically because of this. And I don't know. It seems like he is trying to, in like the way of thinking and way of speaking, holding on to the whole globe, going to the stars and future, but at the same time giving more room to flat Earth. And one of these things is Owen Benjamin. Because have you seen Owen Benjamin?
I have. I mean, I
And
was
he is on their show almost daily
yeah,
now.
but I was waiting for him to start. He was starting to talk about flat Earth for about maybe 10 days, and he hasn't said a peep in a week or more.
No, he
So
has.
has he?
Yeah, I look. I watched it. I watched it live even yesterday, and he doesn't like elaborately talk about it as a subject, but he does bring it up, like in snaps, in the moment. It's like, yeah, this bullshit and this lie and
Well, isn't he supposed to have been
NASA
talking
moon
to Eric
landings.
Dubay or something?
Hmm?
Wasn't he supposed to be having a debate with Eric Dubay?
Maybe, probably not gonna happen. I don't know.
Well, I think he's being shut down. He's being
Who?
told, look, don't speak about flat Earth. You know,
Owen Benjamin?
yeah.
I doubt he'd care really at this point. I just like this guy is kind of posing like he is making a final stand in his own way. So he's like, yeah, I'm just doing my shit here on my new farm and talking about everything I want to talk about and everything that's forbidden if possible. And he does it. He's very blatant.
Well, I've seen his super chats going in, and he has a lot of people putting a lot of money to it. I think he mentioned at one
Mhm.
point he said that he'd been stopped streaming for 3 months by YouTube, obviously a strike. And within the first 28 days or so of him being able to accept super chats and stuff,
Mhm.
he'd taken in $30,000, $30,000 in 28 days. And I was like, wow, you don't even need to work for that, do you really? Let's be honest. I mean,
No, but he's just really he's hitting a right tone, and he's a comedian and a musician, and he's pretty good at what he does. And I don't know, he just has a thing, and apparently that makes him very popular.
what's this? Somebody's put in, he said it's, hang on. Oh, God, I missed it. Where's it gone? Oh, his chat only members only now.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
that means you have to pay $5 to be able to talk in his chat
Oh, right.
for a month.
What? So you can't even speak?
Hmm?
So I couldn't go in there and say hello, Owen, or anything. The
Nope.
only people that can speak in there are if you actually pay $5.
Yeah, but there's more people out there that have it, like Jade Dreamer Z has it.
Wow.
Yeah, if your channel's big enough, people will do it if you choose to. Not everyone does it, but yeah.
Well, like I say, I mean, I think the way I've seen it is that he was starting to go into the flat Earth, looking into it really skeptically, and then he's pulled back. That's the
Yeah,
way I see it. And I think that, like you
I
say, if he's
can't be a
been,
flat earther. I
yeah,
really
well, if he can't be a flat earther because he'll be disowned from his paycheck through Alex Jones.
maybe paycheck or just being part of that show. I don't know. I, maybe, maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like Alex Jones is pretty tight with it. He is absolutely an anti-flat Earth gatekeeper. What the reason for it is, yeah, you can speculate a lot about it, but he just doesn't do that. It's always like, no, future of going to the stars. That's always his final answer. So, yeah, and Flat Earth doesn't really work with that now, does it?
Well, what do you think about that YouTube announcement then, where they included 9/11 along with flat Earth in the same paragraph? Do you think that was like an oversight, or do you think they carefully structured that sentence to, well, that paragraph to? In fact, it is actually in a sentence.
Probably all of it. It was a complete oversight by some people that just don't have oversight, and the others that they must have taken notice. Like, I think that the censorists out there that try to contain information basically know that, yeah, you can't really stop it, but you can kind of make people scared of it and it's of course doesn't work. Like nothing will eventually work. So the weird thing is, yeah, it's all a matter of perspective. From what angle are you going to approach it? Is it a threat? Maybe. But is it also a hint? Yeah. And is it carelessness? Or is it just desperation? Or is it just like, yeah, put it there to help you? You can look at from all these perspectives and it's all true one way or the other. It's just what it is. And I don't know why what put it there. Was it the algorithm that basically forced that on, or was that some executive decision? I don't know. Was it a couple of rogue technical content programmers who put it there? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Were they trying to say that the Earth is flat because it's so ridiculous? Let's in their mind, the Earth is it's so ridiculous to believe the flat Earth that obviously you can link that with 9/11 because that's so ridiculous. Or is it the other way around that people will read it? Well, clearly 9/11 wasn't false because it happened the way it didn't happen the way that we were told, which maybe we should start looking into flat Earth. There's two ways of looking at it. Are they trying to link flat Earth and 9/11? In which way will win out? Will people look at it as being, well, the Earth is obviously round, so flat Earth is wrong, obviously 9/11 is wrong? Or will they look at it and say, well, come on, 9/11 didn't happen the way they told us, and well, if that's the case, then why are they sticking flat Earth in there as well? Which way is it going to pan out? Who's going to win over on this?
Either way, either it's going to be all 100% mind control and you have no sensibility of what reality is anymore except for what is dictated to you, or it will be complete freedom and all the consequences of that with true insight of how things work, probably way beyond what we even want to know. So it's either way. That's what the everything now is basically just a temporary measurement in the move. That's how I see it. Because yeah, the statists, the censorists, they want to everything. They want 100% in your face lie to burn away your brain and make you submit to whatever they say. That's the final thing. That's what they want. And yeah, we don't want that. We want the truth. And it's a long, difficult journey with many obstacles in ourselves placed in us from in society. Mind control systems. And yeah, we want the other way. So, and of course, yeah, there is just so many people working in companies, and these companies have hierarchical structures and commands and objectives. But yeah, the people have a individual opinion too. So yeah.
Peanuts Clark has asked, why won't Nathan open a Patreon? And yeah, I've been talking to him about that literally today. He said that he is definitely going to set a Patreon up tonight, and he wants me to help him do that. So I will be helping him do that. I think the offers though won't appeal to everybody, because I think you're going to get fuck all via Patreon. Literally, you're going to get fuck all. That will be the main motto of his Patreon. It'll be, if you like the flat Earth debates and you want to support me off the platform, off YouTube, you can do that through Patreon. And but for that, you will still get the debates. The debates will still run exactly as they still run, but it will be fuck all. You'll get fuck all for doing it through Patreon. So, but I think people will still support him because he gets most of the money through that, as opposed to the super chats, which you only get like 60% or something of the super chat. Whereas if you go through Patreon, you end up with about 95% of it or so, thereabouts. So if you want to support Nathan, and I think he's doing it tonight, so have a look for him on there. Anyway, that's my shilling over for him. Oh, and by the way, guys, listen, if whilst we're shilling it, if you want to, I've got a Patreon as well, Ranty Flat Earth. Just putting it out there.
All right.
Right, so Arwin, tell me, have you heard back for yourself from you passed 1,000 subscribers? You must have put the request in what, about 2, 3 weeks ago? Have you not heard back yet?
Yeah, it's all working now. So
Oh yeah.
already got a couple of super chat donations and everything, and
Oh wow, excellent.
yeah, it's all
It
rolling.
only took me 4 months.
Yeah, it was pretty quick with me, I guess.
It's probably because you didn't have Flat Earth in the title. You know,
Hmm.
if you got Flat Earth in the title, like me, Ranty Flat Earth.
Ah, right. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Arwen.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. Or maybe my screamy, shouty, complainy attitude helped to motivate us a couple of social justice warriors that would sympathize with it. I don't know.
I
I
was
know.
thinking, I was thinking of trolling Sleeping Warrior tonight. I was thinking of trolling him because I'm sort of like, you know, I feel like I should troll him.
Why?
I don't know.
What's up?
I like the guy. I do. And you know, we've met loads of times. You know, he was the first person to bring me onto Flat Earth, but I could
Right.
troll him really, really hard right now. uh, maybe I
Okay.
should. Maybe I should. Nah, I can't do it. I could do it if he was here because it would be even better.
What do you want to troll him with?
Oh, thanks, Rob. Thanks for the super chat. Split this with Arwin. $5 Californian. That's great. Thank you very much.
Canadian dollars, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Californian dollars. They have
Canadian,
their own
Californian.
currency now.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, with Tony and stuff. I mean, come on, he brought Simon Dan to the table on the Flat Earth debates, if you remember, when he had like 200 subscribers.
Huh.
Right, he had like 200 subscribers, and he was the first guy, Flat Earther, to promote him in a way because he was literally going on and making videos about him. And then he did the same with Conspiracy Cats as well. And he brought Conspiracy Cats in, and he's like, Conspiracy Cats has got no subscribers. Everybody go over and subscribe to Conspiracy Cats. So everyone went and subscribed to him. He got like 100 subscribers. And now, I mean, these two have turned into the worst trolls ever. And he's the one that's introduced them both to the Flat Earth. He's like, how could you say it? He's like some kind of super spy, you know, where he brings
Really?
these, yeah, where he brings these people in, you know. I mean, come on, conspiracy cat Simon.
Well, maybe he's just a troll herder,
It could be,
unfortunately.
it could be, and he's always talking to him and having him
He,
on the
yeah,
show.
exactly. Yeah, I know. He's addicted to it. He's addicted to troll, so he's become a troll herder, and he thought these two guys have potential to be the most annoying trolls that'll never leave us alone. Let's promote him, because then he'll have something to talk about all day long.
Oh,
His daily references to what the glowers are doing.
and then he trolled Nathan as well because Nathan got his he was able to put videos back out on his Nathan Oakley 1980 channel. So he did a live stream on the Flat Earth debate, and then he re-uploaded the video onto Nathan Oakley 1980 as a premiere, which was the first time he was able to do that in like a month or more. You know, so that people could actually try and give him a super chat or something. And it was the first time that he did this premiere on the Nathan Oakley 1980, Anthony went live, right, with his coffee shop show, brought in everybody from there. He had like 120 people watching. And there was only like 10 people watching the Nathan Oakley 1980 real, you know, the first time he's got his channel back. And I was like, that's really tight of you, Anthony. How could you do that?
Yeah, it's kind of greedy.
Well, how could you do that? Why would you just let Nathan just have his moment in the sunshine, you know, where he's been able to do a premiere, and then you go and steal all his viewers? It was really cruel.
Well, they'll get back eventually. Because Nathan is just no other guy out there that can whip a glober like him.
It's true. Then I asked him to build me a PC. I gave him 900 quid, and it doesn't bloody work properly. I'm sure he sabotaged it.
What? Nathan?
No, Anthony, Sleeping
Oh.
Warrior.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I'm sure he sabotaged it. And then he put, I had this 3 terabyte memory hard drive that he connected up, and then I put all my data on it. And then the first time that I used it, it crashed and blew up, and I lost all my data. I'm sure.
Oh, that sucks.
I am so sure that Anthony's like the sleeping troll. He's like, he's like just infiltrating, you know, blowing up my PC, stealing, making me lose all my data, leaving Nathan poor, and promoting conspiracy cats and Simon done. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm just trolling him because I'm in one of those moods.
Well, you do have a point, though. I've always found it kind of suspicious how he would so easily make these remarks like, yeah, if you got this, then I may turn back to the globe again. It's like, Jesus, you keep on saying that every now and then, like after 2 years of this kind of debate, like some point you can't say that anymore because it just doesn't make any sense to do that. And he just keeps on doing it. That, that I always found that kind of disconcerting.
He's asked me to repeat the Hoylake whilst the weather is favourable. I don't see it as being favourable. I mean, because it's that cold, and I've been out every day for the past two. I should have put the videos out. Essentially, I should have done it, but I'm actually waiting for a new hard drive to arrive because my computer is completely full up. My 500 gigabyte one is completely full up. I'm waiting for a new 3 terabyte one to arrive. I've got my P1000, which is absolutely chock a block with data. I can't find any space on my PC to download even a video. Literally, I have nothing, no space for any of this. So, but I've been out for the past 2 weeks whilst it's been bitterly cold, and every time I've gone down to film, I've had the biggest inferior mirage blocking everything out of the way completely. You know where the mountain curls back on itself, and it's completely hiding everything. And not only that, it's actually deeper than normal. You know, it's a bigger, deeper inferior mirage than normal. So I don't see it as, you know, going to Hoylake while the weather's favourable. I don't see that as being favourable weather to go filming anything, because I just can't see it. Can't see how you would be able to film in this weather. It's too cold. Rude Earther says it's the same. Same for him. Oh man, yeah, the cold in the US. What is it? -56 now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Minus.
damn cold here as well, by the way, again.
Listen, when I was a kid, right? I mean, I said this when I was it in the summertime. I might have said it on Nathan's. The weather was that warm, and it was really warm weather. And I know that they say that it was only like 80 degrees, but it felt warmer. It felt like when I was a kid. And I don't know, people sort of like might listen to it and think you're talking rubbish, but it seemed like it was a different heat when I was a kid, and then it went to this past 20 years or so where we haven't really had the same kind of heat or the same kind of seasons, because everything seems to have been blended into one kind of horrible, just wet, cold weather. You know, there wasn't really any seasons, and then this year it seemed like we actually had a summer. We actually had a couple of months of really warm, nice summery weather that I remember when I was a kid. And I remember pointing out at the time, I said, it's been that warm and lovely in the summer. It feels like it's a proper season. And I would be amazed, if not, I would bet my life on it, that this winter will be absolutely freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And look what's happening. Look what's happening. I mean, we are getting, I mean, last year, I don't even think in the UK, or especially where I lived, it went below zero last winter. And we already had like -11 last night or something, and we've had snow everywhere. It's really cold as well. I mean, it's a different kind of cold. It just feels different, you know?
Yeah.
Properly getting seasons back, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
I think that's what will happen. I think the next 10 years, we're going to see a proper seasons coming. We're going to get really cold winters. We're going to get really nice, warm summers. And they say that it's some kind of Arctic blast or some kind of, what is it they call it? An ice bomb or something. Ice blast. Well,
yeah, they're gonna panic like, oh my god, look, every year the ice caps are melting faster and faster during the summer, and during the winter they're growing faster and faster than ever.
Right. John Watson has just put LOL, Riley's gone live. Hang on, I've got to look at this. I've got to look at it. Let me just I hope I bet he's been listening in, and I bet he's responding to me. What's this? Unusual GoFundMe request. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
John Watson just put LOL, Ranity's on live git. It's all right. Well, what I'll do is I'll probably wrap this up now, because I said what I wanted to say, and we'll head on over to listen to what Anthony's got to say. So just before just to round it off, that's what I was saying again, guys, is that the official YouTube statement that includes 9/11 and flat Earth in the same paragraph, in actually the same sentence. I think it's tipping the hat towards flat Earth and for conspiracy analysts to perhaps start looking into that, because everybody knows that 9/11 didn't go down the way they said it did. And yeah, so guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks very much. Thanks for all the super chats. And yeah, if you look around tonight, I'm sure Nathan will be doing his Patreon as well at some point. So if you guys are thinking of donating over there, jump on over. Right, so yeah, let's go and see what Anthony's up to. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and peace, and see you again soon.